All right, this is James Pelton, and I am back in my office. I'm thankful to be back with my books in the background and everything. I'm here with the team from ArtemisX and excited to kind of hear what they have going on and what their project's about. As we get started, if you're in the audience, could you help us out by liking the video? Because again, that tells YouTube, hey, this is good content. We want to see it. If you'd like to share it, that would always be helpful, of course. And go ahead and comment where you're watching from. So again, I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska. I was in Tennessee all last week visiting my brother, but go ahead and comment where you're watching from. I like that as well. So welcome to the ArtemisX team. Thank you guys for joining me. Could you start by just introducing yourself and then giving a little bit of your background?
Yeah, sure. So first off, obviously, James, I need to say thank you to you because I know you're a super busy guy. Like you're like a well sought after guy to get involved with. So it's a pleasure to be on here. And to be able to share with you our project and our vision and what we want to do. So thank you for that. So we really appreciate it. I'm sure
Hey,
I can speak for
indeed.
our community as well when I say that because they're super excited for today as well. So yeah, I'm Jose. I'm one of three co-founders of ArtemisX. They like to call me the CEO, I guess. Even though we have like no like linear, there is no hierarchy um in our sorry in ArtemisX. I'm in my mid 20s. I've been in crypto for a while. Mostly I dabbled in like altcoins and more what I thought at the time were serious investments, and I didn't really start to get into like first I started with meme coins and then I started to fully get into like DeFi last year as well. So yeah, that's a little bit about me as such. So I assume Beetle and H you can just go ahead and
Yep, I'm Beetle. I'm in my mid-30s, Dutch. I started out mining a long time ago. It seems like decades, but I think it's 4 or 5 years. I think about 1.5 years ago, 1 year ago, I started shifting into shitcoining. Basically, packed up the mining rigs. Shortly after that, started dabbling in Solidity development. And now here we are.
All right, what about you, H? And his mic might not be hooked up yet.
Hi,
let me
can you hear me?
yeah.
Hi, hi guys. Nice to meet you, James. Yeah. So I started off in crypto back in pretty much the bull run of 2017. I have I know a lot of people who are in crypto. Some family members, and that's pretty much how I got into it. And it's been a great journey. Researching it, learning more about use cases. It's so early right now, and it's amazing to see the growth of crypto. And it's almost like pre 2000, Web 2 boom, where you're seeing all the top companies and sports teams in the world. They're all being sponsored by crypto companies. So I mean, that is where a lot of the money is flowing right now. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, really nice to meet you guys. And yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on for sure. So let's talk a little bit about the project for people who don't know it. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen just to kind of give people a visual of it so they don't have to just look at my face the whole time. So this is ArtemisX. And can you guys talk about just what was kind of the vision behind this project?
Yeah, sure. So I might as well start off at the beginning and why we chose the Titano Safuu frame, if you like. And the answer is pretty simple, and that's because they are very good protocols, right? That and we believe that our newer version, in quotation marks, can become like more prominent in the BSC space if we implement the things that correctly that we want to. So we improved on the contracts that are Titano and Safuu, and Beetle done an extremely good job with that, as you can see from our audit results. So we are basically auto compounding and BUSD rewards token. So for people that aren't familiar, it's as simple as you buy ArtemisX, you hold ArtemisX, you get given extra ArtemisX every 15 minutes. You'll earn 2% on what you hold, and you also get 5% daily in rewards in BUSD directly to your wallet as well, based on daily volume. So it's simple, it's not complicated, it's just buy the token, hold. None of the need to use a app to set stake at a certain contract and send this here and send that there. It's very simple, it's easy for people to get involved with, and yeah, that's just the basics of the project, if you like.
Okay, yeah, and it's the easiest way. It's the easiest way to get into DeFi is with these auto staking tokens, because you don't have to do anything else. You just buy the token and then you're basically done. So can you kind of talk about maybe what sets you apart, kind of the big, like maybe key differences between you and Titano, Safuu? Because one thing, as I'm a programmer myself, and so I love forks because I know that the bugs, you know, that were in the original code are worked out, because it's a, you know,
Yeah.
you're working on top of what they've already built. But what I always like to see in forks is like, how are you moving it forward? So can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
Well, what I'll do is I'll give a little bit more about the project and the background and why I think we're a little bit different, and why I think we're set a bit different. So like we all know how most people all around the world and everywhere aspire to have some source of passive income. Like we all know how hard it is to like keep up with living costs, like even a normal lifestyle nowadays with like inflation and stuff. It's really hard. So this is why I personally love DeFi so much. I know that there's risk and reward, but that's like all investments and all of crypto. And I know this is a little bit corny, but to me, you're known as the king of passive income, right? So you know yourselves, if you have a strategy and you learn how these protocols work, you can do what every investor comes here to do, and that's to make money at the end of the day, right? So we launched on the 6th of April. It was the 6th for me because I'm from the UK. For US people, it would have probably been the 5th of April, late night. We done a fully fair stealth launch. Nobody knew anything about the project, not even the name. We kept it all under wraps. Even like I said, the name, what the project was about. We didn't leak anything. It was just me, H, and Beetle that done everything in house. So nothing could get out. That's like, for instance, I messaged you, right? I messaged you pre-launch of the project, and all I said to you was, James, I'm launching a project. Like, you're someone that I really would love to do a video on the project, and like be part of it if you were open to. So yeah, like that's the route we took. We kept everything super secret and super quiet, and that's something we pride ourselves on, is making everything fair for everyone. We could have gone the pre-sale launch like most other projects do, right, where they raise massive amounts of money, and they, which is okay, good for them, but we want to go down the fair route and the stealth launch. So that's what we did. An example of that, for instance, is a blacklist function we had, which Beetle implemented in our contract. Which Beetle, I don't know if you want to speak more about that, about how you implemented it.
Since you're a programmer, I figured you might appreciate some technical details.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We started out.
I might, but my audience might not. So don't get too technical. But yes.
We started out with the Titano base. Of course, that had some minor bugs in it that came out in their respective audits. I fixed those. Since we were a fair launch, it was very important for us to have a very fair holder distribution, so people couldn't just buy up a big part of the float on launch and keep offloading it. So I implemented a max wallet, which currently is at 1.5% of the circulating supply, which comes out to about 6K tokens. as Jose said, the original Titanos, they have a contract blacklist function for, say, front-runner bots and the like. With a fair launch, it's also important to fight the bots that use a regular external wallet. So I implemented a blacklist function for that. But I was also very aware of the fact that a blacklist is not a good thing to have permanently in your contract. So I had never seen it before myself, but I don't want to make any claims as to if we were first or not. But had not seen it before. I locked out the blacklist function based on our supply. So when we were at, I think a couple of hours, 5-6 hours after launch, the supply had increased by a certain amount, which meant that the blacklist function can no longer be called, as a requirement of the function is that the supply is lower than that certain amount. To my surprise, we really didn't have to use it. We, as Jose said, we kept all things under wraps. So we had none of the normal mass botting you would see in a regular big launch. It was a good thing to have, of course, but yeah, things worked out great on our launch, so we ended up not having to use it.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's pretty unusual to have a launch that is successful. So I think stealth launch is the way to go, just because I think bots will always find a way to get around. So you're better off just keeping it secret. So
Yep.
can you talk a little bit? So one thing that I noticed that was a lot different was this dual reward token, because I know you reward in your token and also BUSD. Can you talk about kind of how that works and why you went that direction and how you made that possible?
Yeah, sure. So we as a group, us three, and personally myself as well, this is a second project of ours. We done a project last year during what was the crazy run on BSC. It was called Baby BUSD. It was a reflection token, a simple BUSD reflection token. Unfortunately, at the time, there was an exploit that happened to, I think it was over 80 projects at the time, where they exploited the code in the dividend tracker and basically terminated our contract and ruined our contract. So we've always been about, like I said earlier, we know what it's like for people that want passive income, right? It's a great thing to have. We've always been about giving back. So we thought, why can we not implement a stable source of income for people that is coming in, as well as the APY on the token that you can get? This also brings in added buy pressure from our holders that like to compound their BUSD reflections as well. And it's like who doesn't love BUSD, right? Like at the end of the day, it's stable. It doesn't go up. It doesn't go down. So we love BUSD, and we know everyone loves BUSD. So there's nothing better than getting a bit of stable reflections, right?
Yes. So does that just comes, so when people buy, you have the buy tax, and when people sell, you have the sell tax, and just
Yes.
a portion of that is just BUSD instead of your token. Is that how it works?
Yeah. So H, are you there? Do you want to break down the taxes, or a beat, or shall I do it?
Yeah, sure. I can break it down.
Yeah, thank you.
So firstly, our buy tax is 14%, and our sell tax is 18%. But within our contract, we have an adjustable sell tax, which is also, unique to our protocol. So we also have a ceiling on the cell tax, so we can't, for instance, set it to 100%. So there's no chance of us running this project. We made sure that anything we did, for instance, the blacklist function, we made sure everything was either everything like the blacklist function, it either it gets disabled automatically permanently after a certain period of time, or for instance, for the sell tax function, we have a maximum ceiling of 23% sell tax, so we can never go above that. And yeah, So I'll go through the tokenomics then. So on every buy and sell, there's a 1.5% tax that goes straight to the LP, and there's 5% BUSD rewards for both buys and sells, and 1.5% of every single transaction is also burnt. So we send it. We call it the sun. We send 1.5% of ArtemisX tokens to the sun, and that's permanently burnt. And that's again to make sure the project's more sustainable and to reduce the circulating supply. And then the rest of the tax goes to the Treasury, which is it supports the insurance fund, it supports the marketing, and further development of the protocol as well. So yeah, the Treasury it gets 6% of the tax on buys and 10% of the tax on sells.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, that sounds really good. Let's see. As I'm looking through things, can you talk a little bit about the rocket fuel, the miner? Again, I'm looking for things that really stood out to me as, oh, hey, this is something unique that others
Yeah,
aren't doing. Can you
yeah,
talk
yeah.
through the rocket
Sh-
fuel part?
Sure. So yesterday we like just like you are the king of passive income, we like to think of ourselves as the kings of stealths. So we stealth launched our rocket fuel by ArtemisX last night. I don't know if people are familiar with baked beans. And there's loads of these B&B farms going around at the moment. It's pretty simple. You lock in BNB, you connect your wallet, you lock in BNB. You get up to 8% daily return in rewards on your investment. You can either recompound or claim the rewards. There's also, when you do connect your wallet, if you decide that you want to like lock in BNB or whatever, you get a referral code at the bottom of the page, which you can share with people, and you also get rewards based on referrals. And yeah, and it's just a constant circle like that, really. This was added yesterday to bring something else to our protocol that can help with it. And like you said, it's different, right? Not no protocols like ours are bringing things like this to my knowledge. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. And so I really like that idea of you kind of took two protocols that have been successful and you kind of meshed them together and created this bigger ecosystem. From my experience, like these bigger ecosystems give you more time then to figure out what you're going to do
Yep.
to generate revenue in the future. So can you talk about like what's on the roadmap? Do you have like income generation ideas for the future, or what are you guys planning on doing next?
Right, sure. I don't know if right. So basically, as of now, we've got like we're I don't want to say too much because there's something that's come in that right. H, can you take this part over without me releasing too much information?
Hey, if you're going to release too much information, this is the place to do it.
That's for sure, I know, but I don't want to get in trouble with these guys. So so yeah, we are constantly planning on building our ecosystem. Our treasury is used at the moment for the benefit of our protocol, whether that's marketing or bring in other things to the ecosystem like we brought with this rocket fuel. It's all dependent on how. Hang on 2 secs.
I'll just tie in there.
Sorry, I had to cough, and I didn't want to cough in everyone's ear.
No, that's good.
Yeah, so it's all dependent on the rate of growth, right? A lot of these things are very dependent on how far we go, how long it takes us to get there, and that basically decides on when we can implement these things and how we implement these things, because we don't want to implement things that are pointless and useless for the protocol and just adding it for the sake of adding it, right? We want to make sure that we're adding things that are beneficiary to our holders and to the people that are involved in our protocol.
Okay, nope, that makes a lot of sense. Um, yeah, and I
So
forgot to mention too. Sorry, I forgot to mention, audience. If you do have questions, feel free to ask. Sometimes I forget to look at the comments too much, but I'm looking at them now. So if you ask questions and I like the question, then I will bring it up and they can ask that. And nothing's off the table, and it's fine even if the answer is I don't know or something like that. So yeah, keep asking questions. That's great.
something that I also want to say as well, James, is something that we have done in well, we launched at a starting price of around, I think it was around 8 cents per token, per ArtemisX. Um,
0.72.
yeah, thank you, 0.72. So, and last time I looked, we were just over $1. Our all-time high was $3.6. Like most, I'm not throwing shade on these other protocols, but a lot of these other protocols that launch and stuff like that, they see a massive dump from starting price. Like most of them do. So we've managed to go above our starting price and go up exponentially, and then we've also managed to like now hold above 12x our original launch price, right? So yeah, it's not the most inviting chart to look at, but we are still holding and we are still strong. And throughout the week, throughout the last 2 weeks, we've got our KYC done, we've got our audit done, we've got flues integrated on our website so people can buy with fiat. We're trying to take all these steps that are gonna like be really useful for us when we start to kick in mass normie marketing. The thing is, these things take time to kick in because we have stealth launch, right? We don't have the pre-raised 500,000 fund to just throw at marketing. These are things that take time with community building, with community doing things like these with you and other communities, other AMAs, and these things do take time, right? So that's also something that I want people to take into consideration when they're looking at this project as well.
Okay. No, thank you. Thank you for asking that. So a question that I had, kind of in light of when I was talking with some people from Titano. So where do you feel like your project's going to be in a year? So like, the numbers on these rebase projects, at the 200,000% APY, like there's reaches a point where like it can't continue, right? Because the numbers just get so high. So do you guys kind of think about where you'll be in a year, or what are kind of your thoughts around that?
Well, in a year's time, by then, our ecosystem should be in full swing. We should have implemented a lot of stuff that we want to implement. Here's the thing about us as well. We don't like to talk and then not do, right? We don't want to say, yeah, we're doing this and we're going to do this and we're going to do this. And like, it becomes all these false promises, like every other project in BSC, like, or in the scene, not every other project, but the majority of is just full of false promises and false hope. We're realistic and we're real, and we understand that these things take a lot of work and a lot of dedication, and in a year's time we want to have implemented a lot of things that we want to into our protocol, and hopefully by then we should have yeah there's a like be I don't know, I don't want to be too moon boy, if that makes sense, right? I want to
Oh
be a
yeah.
realist, and seeing where we are now uh, and where I want to be, they're very different things. So where do I want to be in a year? I want to be up there with the biggest protocols in the space. That's what I aim for, and that's what we all aim for, and that's what we're gonna obviously try and do.
You hit the nail on the head earlier when you said keep adding to the ecosystem. That's basically what our end goal is, to build a huge ecosystem of many different products, all aimed on the general protocol health, all aimed at the same one thing, which of course would be ArtemisX. So, while of course, yes, we are a rebase token, which invariably means in a year's time, our circulating supply will be a lot larger than it is now. The way we will combat that is the burn, of course, which is a standard feature in most Safuus. However, where most Safuu and Titano forks send that to a wallet and if you're lucky, they lock the tokens. We actually send it to a dead wallet, so they are actually burned. We are working on, such as with Rocket Fuel, we've been live for 20 days, and we've added our first ecosystem expansion. I hope to keep up that level of speed and iterations. Depending on the size of the different editions, 3 weeks per new part might be a bit short. But as of now, we have 3 different products in the pipeline. I'm pretty sure we're going to be teasing one or announcing one at the end of this interview. But yeah, like I said, the building out of the ecosystem, making sure there's always added buy pressure on ArtemisX from the taxes of these different ecosystem parts, is how we plan to combat the inflation.
Okay. Yeah. No. Thank you. Did you have something else you wanted to add?
I was just gonna, because I'm like reading the chat as well, which is probably a bad thing. Like I probably shouldn't read the chat.
You hide the chat, and I'll bring it up when it should be.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's. I was interviewing somebody else. Forex Shark, and I was reading the chat, and people were talking about how I looked and stuff, and I looked tired. So then I was trying to like keep my eyes open.
It's like I'm trying to talk to you, and I keep reading the chat. It's putting me off, and it's not going down well. But
yeah. No, you just hide the chat, and I'll ask. I'll cipher through what people chat, and I'll ask. Some people are asking about the doxing, because that is, sometimes people like to see a face, and that's what kind of builds trust for them. So, do you want to talk about your philosophy on doxing, and then where you're at with KYCs?
Yeah, sure. So I'm KYC'd with Flues. Flues are a massive, reputable company. I'm sure most people know them. So yeah, I'm KYC'd with them. We have our KYC. In regards to doxing, so what people need to understand that this is crypto, right? The crypto space, and it's the internet at the end of the day, and the internet's a brutal place. I'm a nice guy. Beetle's a nice guy. H is a nice guy. We're all here, and we're always open, and we're always talking, and you can find us in Discord, Telegram, AMAs. You know what I mean? Telegram at all times, and you can speak to us, and we can get into any conversations about anything. But doxing and releasing your public identity to everyone, to the whole world to see is a different level, right? If I'm being honest, we didn't come into crypto to become famous, right? It changes the game when you fully dox. I'd happily dox to you, for instance. I wouldn't have a problem. You know what I mean? Because you are a respected member of the community. You're not, no offense to people out there, but you're not a random person online, right? That wants my identity. Like the people that need to have my identity can have my identity if that came to it. But fully publicly doxing is not something that is really, personally for me, is not something that's on the cards. Yeah.
No, and I think that's totally fair, and just different people are at different levels of comfort. And it is interesting that like sometimes we expect founders to dox, but then your holders aren't doxed. So it's kind of like you're okay mutually doxing, like I'm doxed, so you're okay doxing to me. But I understand different people are at different spaces in that, and we've kind of found that doxing doesn't always help, prevent.
Yeah, for sure, it doesn't.
So, like to see the KYC. And honestly, what I look for is I like to talk to the team and just get to know the team, and that makes I can tell pretty easily who is gonna, who's shady and who's not shady. And one thing too is, since we're getting in after launch, a lot of the risk is gone already, just from getting in post launch. Like that's when a lot of the risk comes in.
Right. Yeah, because if you don't mind me butting in, for instance, like we're coming into 20 days old now. Like we're working every day. If you go in the Telegram or whatnot, or you know what I mean, like we're doing progression. We're taking steps that need to be taken for the progression of the protocol. Like like I've mentioned earlier, we're starting at the beginning. We're not pre-sale raised, already audited, already KYC. We have to start at the beginning. So it's still very early for us. We're 20. I know it's 20 days in, and it's like the cliche. Yeah, you're still early, but if you do your research like they tell you to do, and you actually look into things and realize what we're doing, then you'll realize, yeah, actually you probably are early in this, and I know it can be a risk for people that they only want to see someone's face and it makes them feel more secure, and I can respect that, and that's why something that we always try and do is be as open as we can, right? Like I said, we're always there to talk and always there to interact with community for people to get to know us. And it's like sometimes you're not only investing in the protocol, right? You're investing into the team technically, and their vision and what they want to do. So yeah, that's where I stand with the doxing situation.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that because like if you just stopped building right now and if this was the end of the project, it probably wouldn't last that long, you know? Like
Yeah, it wouldn't.
it would have a life cycle and then it would kind of die off. So it's going to take adding more things to keep it going. And so then we're really relying on the team and hearing from you guys like are they going to be able to kind of keep going with this? One thing I just want to be super clear about, Leozilla, I just want to address this. So let's say he says, let's say there's no new investors in the project. Is the project still going to work? Are we relying on new investors for money? So do you want to just talk through how you kind of think about that? Like, is the biggest thing you need right now is marketing to get more people in? And is there a time where you think you'll try to shift to a revenue model, or just what are your thoughts around kind of what he has to say there?
Yeah, so of technically, like any project, if there's no new investors, the project will die, right? Like because you need buy pressure to counter the sell pressure that's going to come in for people that are taking profit. So yes, just like any other project, if there's no new investors, the project will die. Are we relying on new investors for money? Well, also, yeah, like any other project, we are relying on new investors. We've got to constantly bring in new people. We got to build our community, expand our ecosystem, and do everything we can that benefits our protocol.
Yeah, nope. I think that's a and so if you think about like Bitcoin, so Bitcoin only goes up if there's more buyers than there are sellers. Okay, so there's not a lot of passive income to be made in Bitcoin because it's basically just if you get more buyers than sellers, it'll go up. Otherwise, it'll go down. But when you create these in DeFi, when you create these economic systems, you make the economy bigger than just buy sell, but there's more complexity to the economy then you can have it's not as simple as just buy, sell, buy it goes up, sell it goes down, but you can actually make the economy in a way where there can be more lag between the number of buyers and the number of sellers and still have income. So if that makes sense, Leozilla, but that's kind of how I look at projects like this.
Yeah, exactly. It's where the ecosystem also comes into play. As we release new products, we will tie into new holder groups, target other groups, maybe groups that won't be as familiar with the rebase meta as our current holders are, which is a way where we will be continually, aside from regular marketing and normal marketing, we will continually bring in new eyes on the product, and of course, added buy pressure from the taxes of those new ecosystem parts.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for answering that. Then Tony is asking. You kind of touched on this a little bit, but maybe we could just say more specifically. Do you have plans on what you're going to do with the Treasury?
Yeah. So right now, the main objective of our treasury is to market and fund the benefit of the protocol. As time goes on, we plan to we plan to use our treasury to invest in other projects and stuff like that. But like for now, like I said earlier, it's all very situational on where we stand at that time and what's best for the project. It's always important that we don't squander money and just spend it for the fun of it, right? We need to make sure that it's for the better of the project. So yeah, mostly now it's marketing, and just bettering our protocol.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, if other people have questions, please do ask. For people who want to get involved, the two ways here, you might hear my kids screaming in the background. I told them I have a meeting, try to stay quiet, but I think they use that as, okay, that now is the time that I should be extra loud. But you can buy ArtemisX here, and it's nice that you have it just worked right in there. So you just need BNB or something on the Binance Smart Chain. So the easiest thing is just to get some BNB. So you can buy that on Binance or KuCoin, or you can buy BNB a lot of places. Send it to your MetaMask wallet, connect here, and then you can buy some ArtemisX. You also have this pay with fiat, so that's kind of convenient, where you can buy crypto with fiat. Does this work in the US and everything too?
Yeah, it does. To my knowledge, it should work in US, unless there's something that I don't know about. Yeah, it should work. It should work pretty much, and is supported in most countries that people will be investing crypto in, I imagine.
Okay, very cool. So yeah, that's even easier then for people to get in. So yeah, absolutely. That's how people would get in. And when I look at the chart, this actually, to me, I did my total honest opinion. If the project is going to do well, this is a good entry point, because we're not at all-time highs, but we're not at all-time lows either. Like, it doesn't look like it's just, going to come crashing down like we see with some other projects. So to me, it looks like I actually like this chart when I'm looking at what do I want to buy. I don't want to buy in a chart that's just going straight up. That's what you guys want to see, but that's not what I want to buy. So yeah, the chart actually looks good to me. Let me see. Does anybody else have any other questions? I feel like I have a pretty good feel for things. I would like to kind of, and maybe you guys have to wait before you bring it out, but I'd like to know what other products you have in mind.
Yeah.
So I think this baked bean fork was a really interesting thing to put in there. Is there anything you can share us about, like, what would be the next one that you're going to
So let's just say this, okay? In the next couple of weeks, there will be something that comes out within the ArtemisX. Sorry, I'm trying to be very careful. Within the ArtemisX ecosystem, that is going to be a great chance for other people to get involved with something new that is going on in the markets right now. It's going to be I can't. It's annoying because I can't tell you, so I'm being way too vague, so it's kind of pointless, Hang on.
We should just tell him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well. Okay. Do you want to do it, Beetle?
Okay. Yeah. What we're working on right now is I mean, anyone tied into the current hype will realize that move to earn is right now one of the biggest hypes in the crypto space. And we're implementing that into our ecosystem. Yeah, that's simple as.
Yeah,
we will have a move to earn component
integrated into ArtemisX.
which
Okay.
a timeline is hard, of course, because this requires not just contract development, also app development. But we are fairly confident that we can deploy this within the coming weeks.
Okay. Well, now that brings up more questions than answers. Okay. Move to earn.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we'll just have to kind of wait and see on that, on the specifics around that. What kind of time frame are you guys thinking on that?
So it's gonna be. I say it's gonna be within the next few weeks. There's definitely gonna be more information within the next week, and ArtemisX holders are gonna find out. Are obviously gonna be the first to find out. So about how it's gonna work and stuff. So within a week, our holders will know a lot more about it, and we'll be able to tell. hopefully when we've got more information that we're willing to give out, we can have another chat with you and we can go at it again. So, but it's very exciting, and like I'm like a little kid and like super excited because we've been working so hard like with all the stuff we're doing. So this is like going to be massive for our ecosystem, and like it's really gonna set us apart from everyone, I think.
Yeah, that would definitely. I've not heard of any other Titano Safuu forks doing that. So yeah, no, that would definitely be unique.
Burn to earn.
Yeah, burn to earn, we like to call it, right?
Yeah, there you go. Burn to earn. I like it. All right, we have a question. James, will you buy, as we close up here, James Pelton, will you buy ArtemisX? And so here's my total. I'll just give my total thoughts on this. So there's a lot of Titano Safuu forks, and I can't get in on all of them. I really like that they're like this baked bean has been going for months and months and months, and it's doing kind of falling apart a little bit now, but like just having this does add a lot of time. It gives you a long runway for how long before you need to start coming up with other stuff. And I like that there's move to earn. So I mean that is pretty different. Let's see. James, do a little buy live. I will buy $500 live just to show everybody how to do it.
I feel like, if you don't mind me saying, I feel like this has been like an episode of Dragon's Den. Have you ever watched that before?
Yeah, Shark. In the US we have Shark Tank. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like now it's like, are you going to invest?
Are you going to invest now? Let's see. How much is 0.5? That's not $500. Hold on, I gotta move some funds around. But yeah, I'll put in $500. I'm actually I might be more interested in the rocket fuel.
I mean, you should do the rocket fuel, and then you shouldn't necessarily do, but you can share your referral link and like as well if you want. There's nothing stopping you from doing that.
I know. Just the problem with the referral links is then everyone thinks I did it just because.
Yeah, true. Okay,
like,
okay, true.
I would do it even without that because. So here I'm gonna get $500. So to get in here, do I need ArtemisX token or do I?
No, you don't need ArtemisX to get into the baked bean. You literally just need BNB. So you'll deposit your BNB. You'll get your rewards throughout the day, and then you'll either be able to refuel, which is just recompound your earnings. We recommend, and the best strategy for people is compound 6, take out on the 7th. Take your rewards on the 7th. That's how you make these sustainable, like more sustainable, and it's just better for you in regards to.
Okay. All right, I'm doing it. Now, what is 500 USDT is like 1.249, 1.2409. So buy and lock rocket fuel. And actually, to be totally honest, I've never gotten into baked beans or any of the miners. This is actually the first miner I've gotten into for a while. I was back in like the old BNB ones a long time ago. But this is first one I've been in for a while, but I'm going to do it. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, they didn't tell their viewers to do 6-to-1 strategy. Yes. So an important part of this being sustainable is refueling more often than refueling is recompounding, right?
Yes, it is.
And throttles take it out. Okay. Yeah, for this to be sustainable, yeah, they recommend the 6-to-1. So you do more refueling. If you just keep claiming every day, then this contract's going to run out.
Well, also, if you keep claiming every day, there's an anti-whale mechanism. So for people that decide that they're gonna withdraw their rewards every day, they're also going to lose a share of the rewards that they're also getting. So they will start losing a chunk of their pie very quickly, if that makes sense. So there is a mechanism. I don't know if Beetle can explain it more, but yeah, there's a something in place to stop people almost sucking it dry every day.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's mostly to combat someone putting in 30 BNB and getting a great edge on the others.
Okay, very cool. Well, there we go. You'll see that now. If you watch my journey to 10K a day in passive income, you'll now see Rocket Fuel by ArtemisX.
Nice.
Awesome.
Very cool. Well, hey, thank you. If no one else has any questions, this was really helpful for me. Again, just getting to meet the team is really helpful, and then just having you guys talk about your vision and talk about what you have going on. So I like
Yep.
you guys. I think you seem nice, and I have a nice guy syndrome where like I just if someone's nice and I talk to them, I don't know, I believe in it, and
Yeah, I'm glad because we are really gonna and do work hard, and we will continue to do that, and people will see over time. It's easy to say it, like the only actions speak louder than words is that simple saying, right? So over time people will see. But like thank you very much, James, because without going too fanboy, like I said to you before, like it really is a pleasure to be on there and be part of this. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we get to meet each other and speak again, and we can go into the move to earn and we can cover all that. So thank you, and thank you to your whole community and all that, and to ours for showing up. It's been a pleasure.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and feel free to let me know if you need some tweets sent out or anything like that. Happy to do that. And yeah, for
Yep.
sure, when you get the move to earn stuff, let me know because that'll be interesting.
Oh,
And
I'll be in your DMs. Don't you worry, James.
okay, all
You're
right.
a busy man. You're a busy man. You're hard, but we'll get there eventually.
Oh yes, I'll send you my Discord. That's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
It's less clogged up than my Twitter. But yeah,
Okay, thank you.
we'll stay in touch. And I want to thank the audience too. Again, I'm amazed. I do a ton of AMAs, and I'm just amazed that like if people just got tired of them or were like, hey, we're not going to watch any more AMAs, then it's like we wouldn't be able to do stuff like this. So I just want to thank the audience for hopping in and watching. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you, James.
All
Thank you,
right.
James.
Everyone.
Thanks,
Been
everyone.
awesome.
Take care.
Bye bye.